Welcome to Keeping in Sync with Microsoft 365 for this week, the 25th of July. As with always with a disclaimer, be warned that some of the dates may change and your organization may disable some of the settings or prevent them from being rolled out just yet. So please don't be frustrated like Princess Leia. Starting off in apps and services. Microsoft is updating the Share button in OneDrive to provide easier access to additional sharing options. When you select Share in OneDrive for Business on the web, you'll see a contextual menu with all the choices available to you for sharing files and folders with your teammates instead of having to actually press the Share button and do it from there. So that's one click saved each time you press the Share button. Make sure you use the extra time and maybe go to the beach. This particular change is rolling out mid-July to late August. Also in the world of sharing, Microsoft is updating the experience for attachments associated with files from the cloud locations connected to Outlook on the web. So if you're using OneDrive, SharePoint, or third-party providers, in the new experience, links to files from cloud locations will no longer appear as attachments, but instead will appear as links in the body of the message. This particular change is rolling out early August to mid-September. I don't know why, I quite like the old way. Now, if you haven't seen it already, when you open a document that was shared with you for review, you are automatically placed into review mode in Word on the web. Now, in review mode, you won't have full edit control, but instead are allowed to add suggestions to the document in the form of comments or track changes. Document owners or other collaborators who have full edit permissions will then need to approve the incorporation of any suggested changes to the document. So Microsoft has changed the user interface for review mode in the share dialog to include this mode as a permission option called Can Review inside of the sharing permission dropdown. So you can find this option available as well from the link settings page and is rolling out mid-July to early August, and it is a great addition to reduce the impact of people modifying documents when they really shouldn't have. Now, a lot of organizational leaders use video as a way to share information and updates with their peers in YAMMER. The new stories and storyline feature allows anyone to do that even easier. And with this storyline feature, users can find relevant posts in their feeds and discover interesting people to follow and stay in touch with what they share. And if you're sitting there thinking, see, YAMMER is just like Facebook for work. It's an old argument that no longer really has any merit, as LinkedIn, Twitter, and all social platforms, including Facebook for work, actually have pretty much the same functionality. So it's a great way to actually stay engaged. This preview of the storyline functionality is actually coming out late August to early September. And if you're a leader in a business, get your phone out, start recording. Over in the world of Microsoft Teams, or VIVA, as you'll find out shortly. So language interpretation in Teams meetings allows professional language interpreters to translate what the speaker says into another language in real time without disrupting the original flow of delivery of the speaker. This will allow for more inclusive and efficient meetings where participants who may not speak the same language can fully collaborate with each other without having to wait for an interpreter to repeat what was said after the fact. This is a bit of a change, or it's an additional step up from the ability to have closed captions do the translation where it's a machine. This is actually a human actually being able to do it. Now, this feature is enabled by default at an organizational level. However, meeting organizers need to enable it on a per meeting basis and select an interpreter to attend. So you need to have those in your organization too. This is rolling out mid to late August. Don't worry, we'll get to the Viva stuff shortly. Now, coming soon to Together Mode, meeting organizers will be able to assign seats to meeting invitees as well as participants who are currently in the meeting by dragging the user to the preferred seat. Once assigned, the organizer can apply the newly created layout and everyone in the meeting will see the participants organized by the seating assignment. So if you don't like sitting next to someone in a virtual meeting, now you can ask the organizer to move you. I'm not sure what difference it makes, but you can do it. This is rolling out early to late September. Now, meeting categories in Outlook is not a new feature, and it's something I personally use quite a lot, and allows you to easily tag, label, and group calendar events by different colors so you can see what type of meeting they are. Now, the meeting category insights is a new feature coming to the VIVA Insights app in Teams, formerly known as MyAnalytics, that will help you understand how you're actually allocating your time across these meeting categories. So instead of simply saying you spent this much time in meetings, you'll be able to see you spent this much time in this type of meeting and this much time in this type of meeting. You'll be able to view data for the last 3 months, the last 4 weeks, and also the next 4 weeks based on what's in your calendar. This feature will be available in the Effective Meetings tab, being introduced in the VIVA Insights app in Teams very soon, rolling out mid to late August. Hey, also in the world of VIVA. The VIVA Insights app in Teams is actually being updated to deliver a more simplified user experience. The VIVA Insights web homepage, which is accessible via insights.viva.office.com. Yes, remember that one. And also the Microsoft 365 app launcher on office.com is actually being updated to match the VIVA Insights app in Teams. So just to clarify, because that was a lot of words, the web interface that was MyAnalytics is being updated to match the VIVA Insights app inside of Teams that we've had for a while. Now, additionally, the MyAnalytics web dashboard will be updated to reflect the VIVA Insights brand and also be accessible via a link in the VIVA Insights app inside of Teams. Now, this is the actual Teams related part. There'll be an additional privacy setting that will allow end users, to opt out of the VIVA Insights team application and also allow you to stop receiving personalized insights across all areas of VIVA Insights. But if any of you do disable that, I'll be personally notified and will come to your house to understand why you don't need these features. This particular feature or the changes to the interface is rolling out mid-August to early September. Also in VIVA, the Communities app in Microsoft Teams has actually made it easier to interact with YAMMER communities and conversations without having to leave the flow of your work, other than to leave the flow of your work by clicking into the app or activity feed, unless you pop it out into a separate window. So now, because for some reason everything has to be rebranded as VIVA, the Communities app, so the YAMMER Communities app, will now be called VIVA Engage. It still does exactly the same thing that the YAMMER Communities app has, just has a new name. However, the updated app will, at some point shortly, be able to showcase the new YAMMER storyline feature. So expect the app to be renamed in late August. However, the appearance within the app will be updated from late August to end of September. Something that's not VIVA related, you'll soon be able to have a single place to manage and view all of your app subscriptions you've purchased in the Teams App Store without actually having to leave the Teams client. Good for admins, but also good for end users to actually just manage their own subscriptions. You'll be able to perform actions on those subscriptions like buying additional licenses, changing plans, and even updating the payment method. To use this new feature, you'll simply have to navigate to the Apps button, click on Manage Your Apps, and then click on Subscriptions. This is rolling out by the end of August so that you can continue doing more shadow IT without IT knowing about it. And that's it for keeping in sync with Microsoft 365 this week.